Alright, so it's actually now the week after the baby shower. But before the baby shower, we really wanted to get the nursery as set up as we possibly could before everyone came around so we could show everyone what the nursery is going to look like. So while we managed to arrange most of the pieces of the puzzle really easily, there was a few bits that were just a little bit more work than the rest. So the first part of the story actually started about 3 months ago. This was my office and we needed somewhere to put Bub, and so this is what we decided, that this was going to be the room that we were going to make into the new nursery. We were lucky enough that Teresa's mum and dad actually came down and stayed with us for the weekend.
This is fun.
And helped us move everything and repaint the nursery in preparation.
So painting the room was surprisingly a more involved process, but we had a lot of prep and cleaning of the room to happen first. And then we painted it in about a weekend. It took us 2 days, but it came up really good.
Yep, exactly. And so Steffi basically had to teach both of us everything, because for the most part, we're kind of incompetent at this sort of stuff.
We're newbies and we had a few glitches with tools and had to go to the hardware store and do some last minute runs to get the last
Many
pieces.
times.
But it all came together in the end.
We had to paint the whole room except for the wood grain finishes. We tried to get away with not painting the roof, however, it just ended up looking yellow and terrible. So in the end, we ended up having to paint the roof as well. We had to put masking tape around all of the timber edges, put down drop sheets on the floor while we did the ceiling. After we masked all the edges, we then had to cut it in around all those edges and the edges of the walls, and then roller all the flat pieces of the walls.
The colour we chose was Dulux Vivid White, and I think we were very, very happy. We were nervous at the beginning because the room was very empty and it looked very white and stark, but I think as all the pieces have come together, it's looked really, really beautiful.
Because it was such a white colour, we actually ended up having to do 4 layers of that colour white to make sure it was homogeneous across all the walls. And we ended up even painting into the night to get it finished.
The finished product though we are very, very happy with, and I think it came up beautifully.
Now we just got to do the rest of the house, that's the problem.
The very first piece of the nursery puzzle was actually the cot. That's the first thing we found. I found it on Gumtree. Well, I did a bit of research involved first, looking for different types of cots and noticing that they were very expensive and wanting a particular style, which was a bit hard to get at a reasonable price. But I found a lot of YouTube videos very helpful and came across this IKEA cot that is actually no longer made by IKEA, but it's really, really pretty, very neutral, very simple, and only cost about $150 brand new from IKEA, but of course it didn't exist anymore. So the hunt was on to find it. Ended up looking at many Gumtree posts, finding out they would sell out pretty much as soon as they were listed. So that's when I got Andrew involved, said as soon as this becomes available we have to pick it up.
That's when I ended up taking the car down and strapping this cot down into the back of the ute, and then driving halfway back across Brisbane to get it here, beating the rain just in time as well because I didn't take a tarp to cover it. But then got it inside, so now this cot is in the room and it sits the room really well.
Yeah, we're very pleased. So I was definitely one of those people that used YouTube as an inspiration, and also Pinterest. My Pinterest board for the baby nursery is pretty big. And one of those pieces was the chest of drawers, and noticed that a lot of people were using IKEA chest of drawers to actually use in their nursery. But that also meant they're very, very popular. So upon finding the chest of drawers that I wanted at IKEA, it meant that we had to wait a very long time for them to come in, and we kept missing them and kept missing them.
And when they finally did come in, we ended up having to race down at 9 o'clock in the morning to be there when IKEA opened, and then go in the back way to pick up these drawers, which we did finally get. Of course, being IKEA drawers, they took a little bit of time to put together.
A bit of a
just
puzzle.
a tad.
But they work really well. They store all of the baby products, and I think they've come up looking really wonderful. Yeah, so it's another piece of the puzzle that's come together quite well.
They do. They suit the room. They suit the styling really well.
A little bit of an idea that I got from YouTube and from Pinterest is to customize them a little bit. We actually ended up changing out the door, all the knobs on the IKEA chest of drawers to wooden ones, but people have done all sorts of different designs, so it means that you can match them to the nursery, which is really nice.
The other benefit is you can also use the top of the chest of drawers actually as a change table. Hence we got a change
Like a change mat. That's easy to clean.
Which sits on top of the chest of drawers.
Yeah, but as Bub grows and we don't end up using that piece anymore, the chest of drawers is still perfectly usable, and it's not just a change table, which takes up a lot of space in the room.
Teresa also picked up a hanger. Like everything else in the room, it's also a piece together thing that we had to put together, which was another evening of IKEA-esque putting stuff together, but luckily that one was a little bit easier than the chest of drawers.
And this one actually came from Cable. I was looking at pieces in IKEA, but they were very big and took up a lot of space in the room, and our nursery is quite small. So I ended up finding just a simple piece. It was really inexpensive, but it meant that we could have some hanging space and some shelves for babies' toys and knickknacks and things like that. But it wouldn't take up too much room, and looks good.
Yep, it fits into the room perfectly again.
So with all my ideas coming together from Pinterest, one of them was our wallpaper feature and trying to get a theme going with the room, and I kind of liked the adventure theme and travel theme, hot air balloons, and Andy and I really love traveling, so I started Googling wallpaper ideas and found two websites, one which was overseas and one which was based in Australia, and trying to narrow down the wallpaper that we liked was a bit of a challenge. Ended up settling on a wonderful company called Maddie and Polly, and they're based in Melbourne. Emailed them a few times backwards and forwards, measured up the wall several times because I was very nervous about getting it right, and finding out that our wall was a little bit too square in size for the shape of the wallpaper. But the company was fantastic. She ended up emailing the original artist of the wallpaper. They sort of customized it a little bit and resized it for our wall. Ended up coming out with a really, really good piece. They sent it to us in the mail and it just came as one big long roll. Even on the website recommended a couple of good installers that they would recommend for the area. So it made the process simple from that perspective, but the communication was fantastic the whole way through, just getting it right for the wall. Yeah, we're very happy. It's got all the nice details of the countries and names. What I really liked as well, and I keep finding new features, is that each country kind of has an animal associated with it. So Australia, for example, has a little image of a koala on it, and the Great Barrier Reef, it's got like little Finding Nemo creatures, but even India has got an elephant. Africa has got the zebras and the giraffes. So it's not just about countries, it's also animals, and it's really fun.
Alright, well, it's 2 days before the baby shower. Today's the day that wallpaper is getting installed. We've got a guy coming over in about 10 minutes because we're not confident enough to actually install it ourselves. So yeah, because it's quite a feature of the room, we're going to get a guy to install it for us. Fingers crossed it all goes well.
I'm so happy.
Now the wallpaper's been put up, it looks incredible and it absolutely makes the room. It's polished it off beautifully. Now the room's finished, just in time for Teresa pretty much to pop. But all the different pieces, the cot, the wallpaper, feeding chair, the shelves that we put up, the mirror, the chest of drawers,
Clothes hanger.
the clothes hanger, all just, she did a really good job of styling the room. They've all come together and just look incredible. That's our baby nursery.
Yeah, hopefully our little boy loves it and loves it as much as we do. Yeah, we're really looking forward to bringing him into this space.
So the next video will probably be of us actually having a baby.
Yeah.
Scary, exciting.
Only a few more weeks.
I know. Very soon.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you then.